Shalom and welcome to this edition of Through the Lens. I'm Rabbi Eric Walker. Have you ever wondered why God speaks to people through dreams and visions? It's because it's the one time He knows we'll be still long enough to listen. Yet we have filled our lives with so much noise and distraction that it's difficult for us to shut out the world so that we can hear God's voice. Every waking moment seems to be overflowing with a cacophony of sounds, television, radio, CD players, DVD players, ipods, cell phones. All the airways are filled to capacity. And as long as the airways are filled to capacity with the thunderous roar of the Prince of the Airways, there's little room for the sweet voice of the Lord. In 1 Kings 19:11, the Lord said, "Go out and stand on the mountain in the presence of the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by." Then a great and powerful wind tore the mountains apart and shattered the rocks before the Lord, but the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. When Elijah heard it, he pulled his cloak over his face and went out and stood at the mouth of the cave. Is it possible that God no longer wants to shout above the clamor? Is it possible that He no longer wants to shout to the people with a voice like thunder? Is it possible He wants to speak to you in the still, quiet times, in the silence when your mind is clear and your focus is on Him? Could it be in these end-of-end days we are living in that God Himself has chosen to speak to those willing to listen? Could it be that He Himself makes you lie down beside still waters so He can restore you? What has happened to us that we have become uncomfortable with silence? When did the Lord start being our shepherd, and when did He stop leading us beside the still waters? When did we stop letting Him restore our souls and take the job into our own hands? Why would we do such a thing if God is telling us in Psalm 46:10, "Be still and know that I am God," and in Psalm 37:7, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him"? In Exodus 15:26, He said, "If you listen carefully to the voice of the Lord your God and do what is right in His eyes, if you pay attention to His commands and to all His decrees, I will not bring on you any of the diseases I brought on the Egyptians. For I am the Lord who heals you." And in Ecclesiastes, we're told there's a season for everything. In Ecclesiastes 3:7, a time to be silent and a time to speak. And here we are, richer in blessings than the children of Israel who had been delivered from the hands of Pharaoh and grumbled and complained in the desert. Our grumbling is different now that we have every distraction to keep our eyes off of God. Our reminders have reminders, and our schedules are so frantic that we have no time to be still or rest and wait on the Lord. Reports show that 15% of the adult population of the United States suffers with insomnia, and over 50 million people are recorded to occasionally take sleep medication of some time. Why is it that so many have to fall asleep to a TV or radio and cannot shut out the clamor of the world? We need to listen carefully to what is being said. Is it not in the silence that we can hear the still small voice that is the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit? Is it not in the silence that we can rest? And even those whose prayer life abounds, when difficult times fall upon them, they're so consumed with the desire to speak to the Lord, they forget to listen to what He has to say. Yeshua said in Matthew 11:29, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am humble, gentle in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Who can turn down such an offer as this? Rest for our souls. God says, "I speak to you. Be still and know that I am God. I spoke to you when you were born. Be still and know that I am God. I spoke to you at your first sight. Be still and know that I am God. I spoke to you at your first word. Be still and know that I am God. I spoke to you at your first thought. Be still and know that I am God. I spoke to you at your first love. Be still and know that I am God. I spoke to you at your first song. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the grass of the meadows. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the trees of the forest. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the valleys and the hills. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the holy mountains. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the rain and the snow. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the waves of the sea. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the dew of the morning. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the peace of the evening. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the splendor of the sun. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the brilliant stars. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the storm and the clouds. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the thunder and the lightning. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you through the mysterious rainbow. Be still and know that I am God. I will speak to you when you are alone. Be still and know that I am God. I will speak to you through the wisdom of the ancients. Be still and know that I am God. I will speak to you at the end of time. Be still and know that I am God. I will speak to you when you have seen my angels. Be still and know that I am God. I will speak to you throughout eternity. Be still and know that I am God. I speak to you. Be still and know that I am God. If you are watching this and cannot find rest, there is an answer for you, and that answer is found in only one place, in the loving hands of the Prince of Peace, Yeshua, Jesus. Ask him into your heart and be still long enough to know that he is God. And that, my friends, is this edition of Through the Lens. Visit ignitinganation.com for our guest lineup for our daily broadcast of Revealing the Truth, seen live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time. Download our app, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please consider supporting our ministry through the donate button on our website. Until we see you right here for the next edition of Revealing the Truth, we thank you for watching and bid you Shalom.